Hey there, welcome back to Limabean Living. In today's video, I am going to try to get a little bit of a handle on my chaotic kitchen. After having miscarried, if you guys watched my last video where I shared that miscarriage story, I really just didn't have the energy to do much. And so this was actually the first day that I felt energized enough to try to get stuff done. So we are going to be cleaning up this kitchen, doing some recipes to kind of make life a little bit easier in the following days, taking care of some laundry, and just kind of tidying up while still finding time to get some resting in. So if you're interested in any of the recipes that you guys will see, I will either link a video or put the recipe down below in the description box for your guys' convenience. So in this video, you're going to be seeing a lot of Survivor. Survivor is a show that I did watch a lot of after giving birth to Jack. And so in my head, I was thinking about what am I going to be watching in those, late nights when I'm up with the baby. And so it was always on my mind, I'm going to be watching a lot of Survivor. Well, after having miscarried, I still was just I'm going to watch Survivor because I like it. And season 48 is just around the corner, and I was just let's just start at season 1 and kind of relive all of these really old school seasons. So that is what I'm kind of listening to as I'm working to try to just kind of get out of my head and, be a little bit distracted. And I think, that kind of brings me into what I want to talk about in this video is, why do I need to be distracted? Well, after having the miscarriage, I was really struggling because with our homeschooling curriculum, Aubrey and I had just kind of wrapped up talking about all of Jesus's miracles. We had a book that just covered miracle after miracle, healing after healing, people raising from the dead, people who are blind getting to see, we kept hearing story after story of where Jesus shows just how much he loves us. He loved Lazarus and he wept and he felt for the people, and then he did something for them. He brought Lazarus back to life. And so coming off of going through all of those miracles with Aubrey to just suffer and not see a miracle in my own life, to start spotting and just keep, I kept praying, let this be, something even better, that maybe I have twins and this is how my body's reacting. I'm praying for this miracle. And I know so many of you guys were praying for me, especially since this was going to be my rainbow baby. And then to be, kind of in some ways let down. It was really hard for me because I know that God loves me so much. I know that he loves me just as much as all of the people who he encountered when he walked this earth. I know he loves me just as much as the people that he healed. And despite that, he chose not to save this baby. And I have a big struggle between my head and my heart with a lot of things. My head knows that God loves me. My head knows that God is sad that my baby is dead. He's sad for me, at least, that my baby is dead. But my heart does not feel it at all. And I'm kind of at a loss. I don't know what I can do to make my heart feel it. My head knows it, but my heart doesn't feel it. And so I guess my point of sharing this with you is, if any of you guys are kind of in the same spot, you're not alone. I'm on this journey just as much as anybody else. And, if someone has this great breakthrough on how to get my heart to feel what my head knows, that I'd love to hear it in the comments. But I think that is just what faith is about. I have to have faith and I have to keep living as if my heart is feeling the things that my head knows to be true. So that was one of the main things, my main struggles in the days that followed my miscarriage, was just feeling so let down, so disappointed, so alone, abandoned. And all of this was still before my doctor's appointment. And I think as I was filming, this even occurred before my doctor's appointment. So I had an appointment it was supposed to be my first appointment for this pregnancy. And they said, just keep that, go, get checked up by your doctor in, the week later after having this miscarriage. So I attended that appointment, had another ultrasound, and nothing looked too, concerning. But my doctor did say that she wanted to test for blood clotting agents or something in my blood. So, we had some labs done. And then after my labs, I just went home and was going to await the results. Now, in the back of my mind, I was just secretly hoping that my miscarriages were, because of Juan, because, it takes two. It's not always going to be like the woman's fault that a miscarriage occurs. Sometimes the genetics just don't, match up well or whatever. So I was secretly hoping that, the reason for the miscarriages could be maybe just something that we change in Juan's diet or Juan's lifestyle or, whatever it is. But then I got the results back from these labs, and it says that I have something called lupus anticoagulant. And the term lupus sounds scary at first, but it's not the type of lupus that is more well known as this, I think, really big autoimmune disease, if I'm understanding that correctly. But it's not the lupus that people normally hear about. It just simply means I think I'm more prone to blood clotting. And so while I may not be having symptoms of blood clotting in my own body, these little tiny blood vessels, and when I get pregnant, everything's extra teeny tiny. A blood clot could easily stop the nutrients getting to the baby and being able to keep the baby alive. And so this came back positive. However, false positives, I guess, can be pretty common. So they would want to retest me in a couple of months to see if I still have it. And then they can actually diagnose me with that. But for the time being, I'm trying to live as if I actually have it, because all of the reasons I read online of false positives for this lupus anticoagulant, it didn't really seem to apply to me. I didn't think that those reasons really pertain to my situation. So, this was kind of another letdown. It was, now after receiving these results, I feel even more nervous and afraid about future pregnancies. I'm worried that, let's say I get pregnant again, I'll miscarry again early, or if there's some intervention, I'll mention in a second, maybe I'll still, miscarry, but later in pregnancy, which I feel I'll be even more heartbroken because I would have got past this, hurdle of we got past the first trimester or something. And so now after having that result come in, I couldn't, in my head blame someone else or some external factor. It kind of is oh, great. So it's my body that's probably killing my babies. That's obviously the thought that comes through my head. So, this kind of adds another layer to my feeling abandoned or disappointed in the lack of intervention from God on mine and my baby's behalf. And I think whenever we live through something that's a little bit traumatic, we do try to find meaning. And while there may not be this huge reason, this is why I had to miscarry a second child, there may not be that. There's a part of me that wants to believe that, had I not miscarried a second time and not been tested for this blood clotting, agent in my blood, maybe I'd die from a stroke in a year or something because, I would never have gotten on blood thinners or, whatever it is. I'm trying to find meaning, and God could use this tragic event that maybe he didn't cause, but just to, make it possible for me to be with my living children a little bit longer. So while I don't know if that's true or not, it is something that's crossed my mind as a definite possibility. So I mentioned blood thinners. My doctor did end up finally, after a while, getting back to me regarding these results and said that after talking with some of the high-risk doctors, for my situation, obviously refer to your own doctor if you're in a similar situation even, but for my situation, she said I can start taking some baby aspirin, so the 81 milligram aspirin, along with my prenatals, and that would hopefully be the solution for me miscarrying so early on in pregnancy. And she said that because I think I'm older and maybe I have some other factors for like preeclampsia, that they'd get me started on the baby aspirin at 12 weeks anyways. So it's, I just get to start a little bit early taking some baby aspirin. So that is something that I have started, because Juan and I really would like to have more children. If you are unaware or you forgot, him and I are both one of 5 children, and we always thought we'd have a big family. And so to have 4 children but only 2 on earth, it's saddening to me, because I know that I'm getting older and, the opportunity to even have children is, becoming more limited. So I'm really hoping that being on baby aspirin and trying to, even live healthier, I am trying to make more healthy choices. I'm hoping that those changes can, end with a more positive result. However, I'm still very anxious when I think about getting pregnant and, what if I have a healthy baby, but I die in the process? And now, I have 3 living children who are without me on earth. And that's my anxiety. I know it's not healthy. I know that I need to let it pass. And that is one of the reasons why I am trying to distract myself a little bit throughout the day, so that when I'm doing some of these more tedious tasks or things where I can kind of get in my head, I can focus more on something external to me. But that is kind of, where I am currently on my post-miscarriage journey. I have kind of warned you guys in previous videos that I'm going to be taking a break from posting videos on YouTube, at least these long ones. I may post shorts when I feel like it, when I feel like I'm doing something new and I want to share. And I'll probably be filming just at my own pace, trying to get ahead. And I'll still probably be like filming content, but just taking my time to edit it and post it. So I'd like to thank you guys for your patience moving forward. I have, really needed the time that I've already taken off from YouTube to heal, to get my house in order, and to feel a little bit more at peace in my own home. But I'm going to wrap up my storytelling here. You guys saw that I assembled these oatmeal, peanut butter, honey, chocolate chip, granola type bars. These bars I just kind of cut up in cubes because I don't think you really want to have like a full one. They are very rich. They're a very sweet treat, but they are also, somewhat healthy, and there's fiber in there. So I have them kind of stored away for if I notice like anyone in the house needs more fiber in their diet, they can get a little special treat. But these have been totally consumed since filming, and I think I've even made them again since then. I also meal prepped some like chicken salad for me. I just do canned chicken breast, some mayo, and some dried cranberries, and mix that up, and the cranberries kind of rehydrate in the fridge. So, when I'm ready to eat it, they are a little bit more juicy. So I meal prepped that, which, made life a little bit easier in the days that followed. I was able to clean up my living space and just really feel like I had things under control again, because going through a miscarriage and all of that, I was very much out of control. And so this first day of really feeling like I can get back in control felt really good, to be productive and to be able to check things off, my visual list being my very messy house. And I just tried to tackle as much as I could see that needed to be done. And then of course I finished off the evening by watching a little bit more Survivor, but just actually relaxing and having a little bit of ice cream and just trying to take some time for me after having pretty much cleaned and served my family in the kitchen today. But again, I would very much like to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that if any of you guys are in a similar situation, I hope that you are blessed with peace. I have been blessed with peace in my given situation, but that doesn't mean that I don't struggle or feel sad or feel abandoned or have any other negative, feelings. So you're not alone. And if you aren't going through that, I am happy for you. I hope that if you're going through something else, that it can, be a load that is lightened soon. I hope that you guys stay subscribed, be patient with me, and hopefully in the upcoming months, I'll be able to announce a healthy pregnancy and share that journey. But for now, again, I'd like to thank you guys for being here and being such a supportive community. And I will see you guys in my next video. Woohoo! You've made it to the end of the video. If you didn't know already, every Monday and Friday, you can find motherhood and lifestyle content on this channel. And since us moms have to do it all, that may mean yummy recipes, easy DIYs, mom hacks, cleaning and organization, or just a combo of everything. Please know that you are loved and you are made for greatness, and I will catch you in the next one.